Hello, I'm Jonathan Lee Iverson, ringmaster for the 131st edition of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. For me, performing in the greatest show on earth fulfills a lifelong dream to entertain live audiences night after night. Performing has always been in my blood, and there's no place I'd rather be doing it than right here at the greatest show on earth. I am indeed honored to be performing side by side with some of the greatest artists in the world and the newest generation of circus stars. These extraordinary performers make you laugh, bring you to the edge of your seat, and dazzle and entertain you with brand new shows year after year. For more than 130 years, we have traveled the globe in search of the most gifted, unique, and awe-inspiring artists in the world. All of us who perform in the greatest show on earth share one thing in common. We perform live. Unlike movies and TV, there's no take two. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, presenting the greatest stars of the greatest show on earth.
Sarah the Tiger Whisperer. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, Sarah the Tiger Whisperer fills the ring with beauty. Sarah, in her early 20s, is a shining star in the new generation of circus entertainers. Filled with energy, confidence, and an uncanny ability to communicate with the unpredictable Bengal tiger, Sarah sets a new standard for contemporary women performers. Sarah works with the rarest, most spectacular tigers in the world, white Bengal tigers. These stunning animals, with their rich chocolate stripes and sky blue eyes, make Sarah's incredible performance even more magnificent. Members of her family have been performers for a couple of 100 years, yet Sarah's enthusiasm is fresh and vibrant. Sarah really knows her tigers and uses her instincts to provide the audience with memorable and graceful performances.
For me, nothing is really dangerous. I'm never really scared when I'm in there. It's just something natural that comes up, and then if you see it the other ways, it's always dangerous. I always have to keep my eyes open. I always have to watch it. I'm never allowed to forget that they are wild animals.
Every day she's in the ring, the glamorous Sarah relies on two timeless traits all the greatest circus artists possess: patience and trust. David Larible, the world's most lovable clown. The Los Angeles Times writes, David's antics project a wonderfully human touch, demonstrated by his masterful use of audience recruits. David Larible has been acclaimed by critics and audiences around the world as the clown of clowns. His imagination and interactive approach to clowning has won him just about every international award. Just watch him in action, and you'll see why. His talents are rooted in another century. Many generations of his family before him were circus performers.
I was a circus kid. So when I grew up, I was surrounded by acrobats, contortionists, juggler, animals, and clowns. And for some reason, the clowns would catch my attention. I was fascinated.
David has brought his act into the new century with a flair for what appeals to today's audiences. There's no clown more charming, more joyful, more involving than David Larible. David's a perfectionist, and if the professionals can't sing well enough, he'll audition amateurs as he takes his act interactive.
La commedia è finita.
There's no clown more charming, more joyful, more involving than David LaRible.
Bringing people with me in a ring, it's like bring everybody with me, because we play in an enormous arena, sometimes for 20,000 people. I decided to do a totally different act. One, it's more orientated to the kids, but everybody can enjoy it, and it's juggling with plates. I have to come out with some new acts, because the people that see me the year before, they don't want to see me do it the same act, even if they enjoy it. So it's always something new, something fresh, every single show. And of course, we break a lot of plates. It's just fun. It's fun among friends.
Jonathan Lee Iverson. According to the New York Daily News, the circus boasts a terrific ringmaster in the poised, confident Jonathan Lee Iverson. His booming vocals are front and center.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the greatest show on earth!
Meet Jonathan Lee Iverson, who has redefined the role of the traditional circus ringmaster. Jonathan loves being the center of attention, filling the arena with his incredible voice and commanding personality.
85 performers depend on you. You know, I'm the quarterback, so I have to be focused. I keep it moving. No matter what's going on, I keep it moving.
Oh, it's funky and bombastic, and mellow, it's bizarre, but it really is fantastic how similar they are.
Like a quarterback, Jonathan calls the plays. And like a quarterback, he carries the ball.
I'm a part of everything. I'm in it. I'm dancing. I'm singing.
Like any shooting star, Jonathan Lee Iverson has always reached for the heights. He began performing with the world-famous Boys Choir of Harlem when he was just 11. He stayed with them for 7 years, and through hard work and his incredible gift, he eventually became their lead tenor.
Singing was my food, sleep, everything. And I am a ham. I won't lie about it.
At the age of 22, Jonathan became one of the youngest ringmasters in our history. Maybe that's why he understands young people, no matter what their age.
My favorite line in all of the announcements I make is children of all ages. And I don't think people catch that riddle. They think kids. They're just thinking kids. They're not catching it means children of all ages.
Jonathan's a gifted performer and brilliant personality, always trying to improve and perfect his talents by constantly raising the bar.
I always felt that, you know, I can make some kind of mark, and I want to be the best at what I do.
For Jonathan Lee Iverson, stardom is about giving the crowd a spectacular performance, about loving his work and letting the audience share that feeling.
May all your days be circus days!
Mark Oliver Gable. The Newark Star-Ledger says perhaps one of the most shining examples of the lifelong kinships between humans and their animal counterparts is Mark Oliver Gable. Drawing from the past and reaching toward the future, the astonishing Mark Oliver Gable has fashioned a fresh, new, and exciting approach to animal training. The past is his famous father, Gunther Gable Williams. Mark calls him the greatest animal trainer of all time. But for the future, Mark has established himself as his own man. Leading the new generation of trainers, he doesn't see tigers as bloodthirsty jungle cats. Instead, he sees them as fellow creatures.
Well, getting in with the tigers is just part of my day. It's something I do every day, and you know, it's just my life. It's like going to work. It's just going to work for me. We work together because we feel very comfortable, and feeling comfortable is a big part of what we do for both the tigers and myself.
In the greatest show on earth, Mark commands the spotlight 3 times. First, he takes charge of 3 rings filled with Liberty horses. Later in the show, Mark performs with his magnificent Asian elephants.
I've been around these elephants all my life. I grew up around these guys. You know, they're one big family to me. You know, some of these guys have seen me grow up.
In his final foray, Mark steps into the great cage with a throng of tigers.
The animals come first. Definitely, we give 100% to them every day, the care, the treatment, and everything possible to them. And that's what our goal is. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do.
For Mark and the audience, what's exciting is the unpredictability of a live performance.
Best part about our job is getting to show everything that we put into setting up the animals, walking the animals, working around the animals, and bring them into the show and seeing the smile on the kids' face is the best part of my job. I love it.
Mark's love of animals and dedication to Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey assures that the great Gable tradition will continue into the future. John Weiss. The San Francisco Chronicle reports, Weiss is an agile, acrobatic clown who can make even the oldest slapstick gags seem fresh and funny. Meet John Weiss, clown extraordinaire, who balances danger and laughter in his performances.
I have a natural talent to balance things, yes. I started out when I was about 12 with the family rake. And then when we went to the grocery store, supermarkets, I would balance the shopping carts. In school, I'd balance the cafeteria tables.
In the greatest show on earth, John balances a giant ladder that weighs 80 pounds. Then he balances a fired-up chainsaw. Now that's a balancing act extraordinaire. Of course, a great clown is also terrific at, well, at just clowning around. And he's always getting fired up for his performances.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
Flying from a cannon takes more than courage, it takes brains too. John plans each flight with all the care of a space shuttle launch.
Safety, that's the question. How do I stay safe? Come on over here. What I want to do is check the temperature and the humidity to see how far I fly with the cannon. The arrow tells me the angle of the barrel is just right for the flight. Very important. Okay, right here, we have the on and off switch. Right here, we also have the trigger. This is for safety, so no one pushes the wrong button. Fire!
Fire!
For John Weiss, star circus clown, flying across an arena is simply the best job in the entire world.
It's like being on the fastest roller coaster you've ever been on, but 4 times the force. It's great, it's great.
Sylvia Zerbini. She hangs by her calves. She hangs by her ankles. Try watching her without gasping. That's from the San Francisco Chronicle. Of all our performers, Sylvia Zerbini is the one who looks most like a star. Gleaming white in the spotlight, high above the crowd, she sparkles like a constellation in the nighttime sky. Sylvia's a flawless artist. She's passionate about performing live hundreds of times every year.
I've dreamt about this my whole life, and I'm living my dream. I'm, a renowned trapeze artist, and I'm working with my favorite part of God's creation, the horse.
Her routine is amazing to watch. She hovers 40 feet above the spectators without a net. She hangs by her ankles, balances on her hands, and poses herself at daring angles, all with grace, beauty, and confidence.
I'm so confident in my work because I've been doing it so long that it's like second nature.
She began performing at age 5, and by 16, she had mastered the single trapeze. That was just the start of her multifaceted career.
I always remember watching the aerialist, and I knew that one day that's what I would be doing. And then I'd also help my father with the animal training and taking care of the animals. And I knew that I was very interested with animals, and that's where I put the two together.
Sylvia works with 5 magnificent horses, but unlike many of her peers, she performs a liberty act, where the horses are not tethered or restricted in any way. And her Arabian steeds look as nimble and magical as a herd of unicorns.
You really have to know your animals. You have to understand what they're thinking at every point in time of the routine.
Sylvia has spent years training these superb animals, so they respond to her every whisper, every subtle movement of her body. This is equine elegance at its very best. Bello. According to the New York Times, he is a big kid playing with big toys, and he bounces around the tan bark like a human cartoon hero. You can't miss him in a crowd. His hair alone sets him apart from, well, just about everybody. He's daredevil comic Bello. A high-wire biker, a trampoline trooper, a sway pole scrambler, and his love for the circus is contagious.
When you love the circus as much as I do, and you're working, there are no bad days. I'm 32 years old and I've reached one of the biggest dreams in my life.
It's not often that a young clown becomes a featured performer in the greatest show on earth. But the circus is in Bello's blood. He represents the 7th generation of a Swiss circus dynasty, and he's been performing since age 3.
I've dedicated my whole life to this, to the art of circus. Everything that I do turns back to our business, which is circus and entertaining people.
Beyond all his other gifts, Bello has animal magnetism. This funny man has a very special relationship with one of the biggest performers of the show.
This little friend that I have he's 8,000 pounds, and he's big. But I've never seen such a big elephant be so gentle, so friendly.
Bello and Bo are a huge hit. So big, in fact, they have their own song.
Hey, do you want to join in the fun? Let's learn the Bo and Bello dance. It's easy, we'll show you. Do you want to join in the fun? Come on, people, I said, do you want to join in the fun? Oh, come on now, I said, do you want to join in the fun? Well, get on your feet and see how it's done. Raise your left arm, raise your right, wave them both with all your might. Right hand forward, left hand too. Do what you see, the dancers do. Hands on hips now, just like so. Swing them booties, to and fro. Spin around and stop in there, do it all again. Say Bello, say Bo, say Bello, say Bo. Are you ready? Here we go. Bo and Bello, Bello and Bo, the greatest team of the circus you'll ever know. One is mammoth, one is measly, but they fit together easily. The wildest pair to ever go toe to toe. Bo and Bello, Bello and Bo, the greatest team in the circus you'll ever know. One's enormous, one is freakish, as a team, though they're unique-ish. There's still always a definite dynamo. Bo and Bello, Bello and Bo, Bo and Bello, Bello and Bo.
The amazing elephants. Elephants have always played a major role in Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. They've been part of our family for decades. In fact, the circus just wouldn't be the same without them. Ringling Brothers is dedicated to making sure that this endangered species of Asian elephants will be here for future generations to enjoy. In 1995, the Center for Elephant Conservation was created. The center not only provides a comfortable retirement home for our elephants, it's also a wonderful nursery. So far, 11 baby elephants have been born at the center, and several more are on the way. To learn more about our elephants, including the newest arrivals, log on to ringling.com.
I hope you enjoy learning more about this amazing group of performers. What unites all of us who perform in the greatest show on earth is our love of the art of circus. It's the thrill of live performance, the laughter, the oohs and the ahs of the crowd, the expressions on the faces of the children. I am proud to be a part of this group of circus stars, and like my fellow performers, I hope to carry out the traditions of the past with a new energy and spirit for the future. If you don't see all of us this year, join us next year when an all-new Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus comes your way. If you can't wait until next year, you can always check us out on ringling.com. I'm Jonathan Lee Iverson, asking you to put a little circus in your life.